What's the chance that's game? The bit is. Okay, welcome back to our Apollo's match and manga series where we talk about Dan and we talk about the summer that Hikaru died. We're playing Demon Slayer Hinokami Chronicles 2 and Marvel Rivals and a bunch of other games. Today we're talking about the summer Hikaru died, episode 11. Now, be aware, it's spoilers. So if you have not seen this episode, click off. If you've never seen my face before, my name is Shamar Miles, and over here we do reviews on BL anime, manga, and much, much more. So if you like anime and BLs and manga and you want to come over here and review episodes because you have some more questions and you want to get other point of views, this is the place for you. So in the summer Hikaru died, episode 11 is titled The Endo's Curse. So we have to go back a little bit, to understand where we are now. So in episode 10, basically Hikaru and Yoshiki are going around trying to learn what Hikaru is. Is Hikaru no Nuki-sama? And does Hikaru know what he's doing to Yoshiki? Does he want Yoshiki to be mixed with him so they can live together forever? So in episode 10, we previously found out that the Endo curse is basically happened because a bunch of heads were cut off or severed and they were sent off to Nonuki-sama to end a plague, right? So that brings us up to episode 11. The head inside the shrine is missing, right? So we begin the episode between Yoshiki and his father having a conversation, which I find very emotional because a lot of us have difficult relationship with our fathers, especially in the queer community, because we don't show up the way that, they want us to or they raised us to be. So we see that Yoshiki and his family has some type of difficulty going on with their relationship with their father. But before I get too ahead of myself, let's talk about the conversation that Yoshiki and his father are having. So Yoshiki and Hikaru come to the consensus that they need to talk to someone who knew someone previously in the Endo family to understand the Endo's curse, which would have been Yoshiki's father because he was best friends with Hikaru's daddy, who is now deceased, who I guess passed away in an accident. They weren't too clear about how Hikaru's father passed away. So basically, Yoshiki's father is having a conversation. They talk about how they were growing up and how how the town is cursed and how the Endo family's curse came about. So they both understand that they eventually have to tell their sons about the town's curse and how it affects their relationship. So basically, they go over the story again about Nonuki-sama always being at the top of the mountain and him taking offerings. So their town was really sick. People were plagued and people were dying. So the Endo family is what ran this village or this town, right? So the head of the Endo family wanted to keep their wife alive, right? Because she was plagued with the disease and she was dying and all that kind of stuff. So they went up the hill to go ask Nonuki-sama to bring the wife back to life. And of course, he just went with the wife's head for some reason as an offering. So as soon as the head of the Endo family went up there to revive the wife or whatnot, she came back to life, but it just happened to be her head. But although she came back to life, everyone in the town, started massacres. They were all murdered and it was just craziness. Off one sacrifice, Nonuki-sama had like thousands of heads. You get what I'm saying? Just for one life. And then we realized that the plague was just a moment in history. Like it just stopped happening. So that brings me back to one of my previous videos that I recorded about the villagers no longer believing in Nonuki-sama, right? So that's basically the Endo's curse though. The Endo family have to go up to the mountain every 5 years because the village feels like the sacrifice that the head of the Endo family was making to bring their wife back to life is the reason why they have so much suffering and torture in their village. So that's kind of how Hikaru ended up passing away too, because Hikaru was also being a part of that challenge, going up the mountain every 5 years to make the sacrifice. But in the midst of Yoshiki and his father having that conversation, he was definitely mentioning that Hikaru's father wanted to end that tradition with him. And I guess the people at the board or the people that were above them or the people that was in charge of keeping this tradition alive was like, hell nah. And then he passed away. So that left Hikaru to carry on the tradition. And he passed away. So it's crazy. So something that's really, something to mention about Yoshiki and his father having a conversation, right? Which makes me want to read the manga some more because it's like, what's really going on with their relationship, Yoshiki and his father? Because as they're talking, Yoshiki's mom enters the picture or whatever, his mom and his sister, and they say, oh, Yoshiki and dad are talking, like, that's amazing. They don't normally talk. Dad don't normally open up, da da da. And Yoshiki's mom, in the most condescending tone, she says, oh, basically he puts on a great face, for you all. Because Yoshiki's father keeps talking about, I guess, being weak and his mother possessing some type of strength that basically glues their relationship together, because honestly, it seems like they don't want to be together. I guess Yoshiki's father is a closeted man, and they had children. They just got stuck, and he really loves her, so he don't want to leave her. So he's like really absent in the picture. That's what I'm getting from it. Like Yoshiki's father was in love with Hikaru's father. I don't know. Y'all let me know. We can debate about that. So yeah, we move on, and we're between Yoshiki and Hikaru, and they're having a conversation again, right? Well, it's kind of a conversation, but they kind of like navigating through the school building, talking about what they're going through. And this is when shit starts to get weird. Hikaru just starts transforming out of anywhere. Like Yoshiki was having a regular conversation with him, and then Hikaru just went dead silent. And this is what's so funny to me, because Yoshiki was like, something ain't right. Yeah, it's time to run. Like, I feel like that was the most realistic thing. Like, all of us would have did the same thing. Like, if a monster started transforming in front of you, it's like, yeah, it's time to run. So Yoshiki like bends around the corner real quick, right, to run away from Hikaru. And Yoshiki starts to notice that more students are starting to come up the stairs, and he's afraid that Hikaru might devour them or attack them, because he don't know what's going on right now. But it turns out it's the girl that Hikaru damaged the first time. I feel like she knew this entire time. I feel like she's a game player. I feel like she's okay with what's going on. She just wants the full understanding. She wants to be in the loop. So she sees this and she just walks away. And nobody else knows that she has seen Hikaru again. So she has probably confirmed this in her mind that there's something going on with Hikaru. But this makes me question, where's Mr. Tanaka at this point too? Because how you just gonna show up and then disappear? And then the lady that was helping Hikaru, oh, I'm getting too far ahead. Okay, so basically after this, Hikaru breaks down, or Nonuki-sama, whatever the entity is, breaks down in front of Yoshiki because it tried to kill him again. Because remember, the first time that Hikaru tried to kill Yoshiki was in the middle of the night. He was like, it's cold in my body, and if I consume Yoshiki in the town, then I'll be warm again. So at this point, Hikaru's like, I love Yoshiki so much, but what can I do to protect him? And Hikaru in his head is like, Yoshiki, you delusional as fuck. Like, why do you keep thinking like I won't kill your ass in a heartbeat? Like, I don't know the value of life and death or anything, and sometimes I can't control myself. So Hikaru goes back to the lady, right, to discuss with her and figure out what's the best solution, because she initially told Hikaru when they first met the lady that you need to stop being around Yoshiki because y'all are mixing. And Yoshiki in some twisted way is loving the way that Hikaru is mixing with him. And he's making a promise to Hikaru talking about, oh yeah, you don't have to be human. You can just live as you are out wherever. And Hikaru is like, hell no, like, I kind of do want to be human, but I like the way I am. I just don't know. I'm so confused. And this is where the episode starts pulling on my heartstrings, because Hikaru starts bawling, like he's crying. And I'm like, damn, like, this is for real, like they're not playing. Like, at first I thought Hikaru was just evil. I don't know. He could be playing a master plan, manipulating everybody just to eat them. That's how some monsters are in shows. Like, they be playing, making people weak, and then they still end up killing everybody. But for right now, he's pulling my heartstrings. Like, he really wants to be Yoshiki. And he's like, Yoshiki just don't understand. Like, how can you tell me that you don't want me to be human? You want me to be a monster and be my original self and still be out here and live amongst people? Like, that can't happen because I can't control myself. I might murder people. Like, I don't know what to do. So the lady is like, you know what? I can take this opportunity to blast his ass right now. So she's putting her hand above his head, to separate the monster from Hikaru's lifeless body, basically. And she basically, I feel like this is what she said, like, if I, move this monster away from this body, this might be some deeper shit than I can handle. Okay? So she refused to do it. And I feel like she had empathy for Yoshiki too at the same time, in some type of twisted way. So after Hikaru leaves, some lady, I believe from the agency, the same agency that Mr. Tanaka is from, they show up to discuss with the lady about what she has seen or what she has discussed with Hikaru. Okay, the episode ends with the lady coming to the other lady's door from the agency. Okay, Shemtax, again, we have come to the end of the video. I hope you like this review. Please leave some questions and concerns down below so I can have a conversation about the summer that Hikaru died, because this show really interests me. Make sure to give this video a like, make sure to comment, maybe make sure to save this video, make sure to subscribe, follow, do all those internet things so we can have more people a part of the Shemtastic gang. And I will see you all in the next video.